Greetings everybody, and I hope you all are doing well. Welcome to a video that I kind of came up with an idea of myself. Recently, I'm sure you've seen in my channel that I've been posting a lot of videos consisting of something called Bird Up. Well, in case if you are curious, and if you already know what it is, I don't care. You're gonna probably watch this just to see what I've come up with. But I made my own edition of covering up Bird Up 101 with the origins, the modes you can do it in, and what the abilities are for each specific bird, why it's kind of one of the most popular things in Asylum, etc, etc. So, get some popcorn, grab snacks, and leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. And without further ado, let's get to it. Now hold up, we can't tell you exactly what Bird Up is yet until knowing and fully understanding what Item Asylum is. The point of Item Asylum is, it is a free-for-all kind of fighting game, with your inventory is randomized, with a melee weapon, a ranged weapon, and miscellaneous, however the heck you pronounce it, I don't care. A lot of these items can vary from being good to very mid to very terrible, depending on how good your luck can be. There are even some weapons that you can get that can be upgradable, where if you get a certain amount of kills with the weapon, the melee weapon, the range, whatever it is, you get a new weapon with an advanced variant, and it can do either more damage or have a new certain ability. Take the SSG sniper rifle for example. If you get a certain amount of kills, that being 10, you can upgrade it to the AWP. And this is a reference to the Critical Strike Global Offense, or the CSGO video game. And you can just be basically one-shotting people if you hit him in the head or the torso. Aside from free-for-all mode, there is also some extracurricular game modes, like Juggernaut mode. Basically, if you're the Juggernaut, you get to select a kit to use to kill the entire server, but they all have 3 lives, so you better choose wisely on the kit you are going to wield. TDM mode, just get more kills than the other team. Sometimes there's a 4-team TDM match, so keep an eye out for that. There's also kit mode, basically like free-for-all, but rating from common, rare, epic, and legendary. You can choose a kit to use and try to get the most kills like free-for-all. There are some weapons that can be upgradable, so pay attention to the kits and use them to your fullest. And then we have boss battles. Basically every 5 matches or so, a boss will appear that you guys can vote for to defeat together. You all have 3 lives normally, but in these so-called private servers, which there are private servers, I don't know why I said so-called. In these private servers, you can actually do something called perfect running these bosses. Perfect running meaning you only have 1 life and try to beat the boss as fast as possible. If you beat these bosses, for example the 10-hour burst man, you can get exclusive items to use in public servers. For 10-hour burst man, it is the Grand Volley. But I tried so many times with my friends that we haven't managed to do it yet, but we'll get there someday. If we don't throw matches, that is. Game modes I forgot to mention were Gun Game and TC, which is known as Tower Capture, but those are for another time. Anywho, enough about the basics of Item Asylum. This video was about Bird Up, right? And you want to know what the bird is about, its origins, and what items to do to become one of the best juggernauts in the game? Well, I shall no longer hold you guys down. So let's get to it. Allow me to tell you the origin of Bird Up with a story. A long time ago, in a warm and dense forest, lived 3 happy birds. They were Longbird, Big Bird, and Small Bird. Longbird weighed the sins of creatures that enter the forest to keep peace. Longbird's scales could measure every sin, and it was fair and just. Till someone asked, what if the scale doesn't tip in any direction? So Longbird made it where the scale would always tip in one direction, giving the judgment a clear and just verdict. Big Bird, with many eyes, watched over the forest to seek trespassers. Big Bird's eyes could see very far and see things that we can't see. Then a creature shouted, but what if the beast shows up in the middle of the night? Worried, Big Bird burned all its feathers and created an everlasting lamp to keep watch of the forest day and night. Little Bird, or Small Bird, decided to punish the bad creatures with its beak. To one of the creatures said, your beak is so small, it's not even going to be hurting. So Little Bird tore open its mouth so it could swallow a creature in just one bite. Big Bird's eyes are so big, there's no freedom. I hear the Judgment Bird's verdicts are very unfair. I hear the small bird is scary. Best to stay away from him. Upset at the creature's words, the birds decided to fuse all three powers into one. In chaotic cries of fear, somebody shouted, "It's the monster! Big terrible monster lives in the dark black forest!" For it was the big beast known as... Welcome all finally to Bird Up 101, where we talk about the items you need, the modes you can do it on, the moves of each bird, and so on. So let's go ahead and talk about the items that you need. To become one of the most dangerous Aleph monsters in Lobotomy Corporations, you either need Torch or Lamp to become Big Bird, Judge or Judgment to become Judgment Bird, and there's a bird on his head for punishing birds. Communication is key in the game chat if you want to bird up. However, it may risk of you guys getting targeted and therefore not be able to bird up. Now let's talk about what each of the birds do if you have their specific weapon and ability. If you have Big Bird's weapon, you have the Brilliant Eyes, which sends a bunch of yellow beams homing into a random target. If you have Judgment Bird's set, you can still use Judgment as a new ability along with the Slam, and it'll do a bunch of damage to everyone around you. If they continue to do damage while you're doing the Judgment, it will probably do a guarantee instant one-shot. He may lack a little bit of moveset compared to his other big brothers, but this small bird actually has a move where you can dash and do some major damage if you can connect it. Plus, he's still got that Peace for All Slam like his other brothers do, so don't ever feel weak if you have the Punishing Bird moveset. However, if you're the last bird alive, you may be screwed. And in kit mode, you can even find the regular Twilight. However, all you will get is the Punish for All, with 300 health. I'm in a custom server showing you guys this, and that's why I have 100 health and it's free for all. A pro tip about Bird Up is that you all must stick together, else every time each one of you dies, your max HP decreases. But right here I am Big Bird, I had 900 HP. One of the birds died, I now have 600. And so forth, I will have 300 if the second bird dies, like right now. And the corners will now show a second trumpet instead of a third trumpet, making you much of a less threat. If you are the small bird, you are really screwed if you are the last bird alive, given you only have 144 HP, whereas Big Bird you have 300, Judgment Bird, I think you have 150, I don't remember clearly, but always stick together when you have fellow birds. Game modes that you are able to bird up are as follows. You can bird up in Boss mode, Juggernaut mode, which in this one specifically I was kind of curious on why everybody was hating on this girl wearing a shark suit. But I guess it's a furry, so it's a win-win for us players. We did end up winning anyways. And if you guys are extremely lucky, it can even happen in zombie survival. However, if for the zombies, it's going to be a game over for them, as it will be nearly impossible to try to win because everybody will just stick around with the birds. But if you get enough tongues, you could probably put a stop to them if the humans don't have really good weapons to stop the tongues. Now let's go ahead and talk about the weapons that are really dangerous, which can include insta-kill, very hard knockback, and a bunch of other effects. There are many ways that the birds can still die despite having their large amount of HP. They can still get hit by insta-killing items, items that do major damage to them, and even knockback. You got the big rock, who basically just one-shot anybody if you can hit them. Same with small pebble. Sometimes it'll do a two-shot, but you can guarantee insta-kill them in other modes. Ever wanted to go bird hunting? Yeah, you can use the American one-shot that thing. See? Just like that. The wand is also a dangerous item to the birds because the birds are not immune to knockback, they're only immune to ragdoll. As you saw, Rav Talia just went through the wall when hit with the wand. And also that my max HP decreased. Though there are two funny items that can definitely ruin a bird's day and make them extremely upset. One was the death note that you just saw right there. Correction, 3 items that are funny. The second one is the moon. The moon can only be found in kit mode, where literally it's just a kit just called the moon. You just tap a place like you have the plan, and just watch the moon just drop on that specific area. It has a big radius, so be careful not to hit yourself, though I can't guarantee that you'll be safe from it. And lastly but not least, our other funny item that we have that can end the bird's day is called the End. and that is also only available in kit mode. Literally, just kick up the person and just punch them one shot. Now, this item isn't typically as dangerous as most others, but it can be dangerous if you're the last bird, and that is the Master Spark. Because the Master Spark can slow you down and drain your HP drastically fast, so always be careful when you're the last bird alive. The bomb can be dangerous if you're on an open map with, gaps and ledges, because it can knock you back and basically make you fall to your death, losing your bird up, and potentially going back to a normal human. Same thing can be said to the gender reveal. Big knockback, if you're on the ledge, game over. And how can we forget our favorite friend, the Pact? Basically, you and another person are lifelink, and if one of you dies, well, I don't have to say it. In all honesty, I know there's a lot more things about Bird Up that I could probably list, but I don't want to make the video too long, so I might as well end it here. Plus, I know there's a lot more people who know much more than me, so, my guide might not be the best, but, I always just want to make my own edition for fun, because the Item Asylum game is just a blast, and it's really chaotic. Sometimes it can be toxic, but it is what it is. But anyways, if you enjoyed this little guide about Bird Up and what Item Asylum is, and me telling the tale of the birds and their origin from Lobotomy Corporation, leave a like, and consider subscribing if you want to see more, and drop a comment on what your favorite part was. Maybe I could do some more videos, and let me know what topic you want to see, whether it be my top 5 themes, top 5 maps, top 5 lobbies, etc, etc. So feel free to drop an idea, and maybe I'll consider it. Till then, this is SF04. Peace.